going to get benefit out of that is probably the Pango and maybe the Magnus once he gets into like an Echo Saber or something like that from the full-on bonus damage that can just affect the other side of the map while you're farming away. So I really feel like they just picked this Luna on its own merits, but I'm not sure how strongly I feel about its potential to be able to contest into a Medusa. Also, this is another one of those instances, right, where, again, we didn't see if it was BetBoom picking first pick or if they picked Radiant, but if it is the case that they picked first pick with the thought of going this Medusa first, maybe it's because they were on the Radiant side as well, right? I mentioned before about some of these auras that the neutral camps provide. Bottom of the map provides the Well-Wishers aura, which is 1.5 mana regen. Feels great for a Medusa to be able to have that. You know, the 4 HP per second that the Mighty Minds buff provides you, pretty much useless for her. So to me, it's a hero that is infinitely better on the side compared to Dire.
There's not still an advantage in the jungle, right? Not that I've noticed.
I mean, there is, but it's nowhere near as strong as it used to be, basically. Like, you could still farm multiple camps a lot quicker just with how close the main jungle is, but just having an additional 5 camps provided to you really just means that, look, you can move around pretty easily. That can be offsetted by things like I just mentioned, right? With the carries that use mana quite effectively, you know, like illusion heroes that just want to be spamming out their illusion to maximize their farm, or a Medusa, which, you know, again, uses mana incredibly effectively. Nightfall even going for an early Bassi ring just to enable not only himself, but Toronto Tokyo as well.
Has been killed.
I feel like Bass is pretty core now on Medusa. I've seen a lot of the... I thought Falcon Blade was core as well throughout the major, but it seems like it's starting to fall a little bit out of popularity from what I'm seeing recently with some Medusa's items as well.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? It just provides you a lot of regen to be able to spam things out. Oh, Toronto Tokyo dropping the Tombstone, but looks like they'll be able to walk on away. So Yush is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Just that one zombie following him right now, but should be able to get away. Like, sometimes we see a Crystal Maiden and a Medusa together. Not that it's a kill lane, and that's probably the one instance where you could, you know, understand if you didn't want to go into it.
The blood grenade, I was going to say, if that... I think it was actually off the mark on the FNG. Maybe if it connected, they would have continued to chase him down.
A lot of people don't know that Blood Grenade actually costs HP to be able to cast it as well, so you got to be very careful with your usage of it.
You do. Speaking of it, another use onto Pure. Pretty goddamn beefy here with the Underlord. Able to zone him out. Don't have the greatest creep position. Actually, never mind. I didn't see Kuritich has another pretty much full wave, so should be able to get relatively close to VP's side of the lane.
He's doing just fine up here, though. He's got a full wave, like you mentioned, to be able to farm. They were able to get that pull off, though, which makes it a lot more challenging. FNG is still tanky enough with the Healing Lotus that he was able to pick up that they might want to look to go for a kill here, but just the 2 points Lunar Blessing, not enough to be able to buff him up effectively. Still a little bit too far away to get the bonus during the daytime from his Luna.
And we're talking about the side lanes, but I mean, this mid lane, GPK, is having a great start versus Squad on the Pango. 23 and 6 compared to the 15. Squad does have 4 creeps still, looking to walk under the tower, but a lot of denies favoring GPK at the moment.
You'd expect it, right? Just having the tree grab available. Avatos, of course, just able to disrupt the Pango's ability to be able to secure some of those range creeps as well.
Nice. Rid of the TPR, it's going to go back to base. Might even be able to bring something back for Kuritich. Just 600 gold in the bank here for the Luna. But with the Spirit Breaker not here, they're probably going to try and put some pressure onto the Luna, make it very difficult for her to freely CS.
Doesn't quite have the lineup to be able to go that full-on dive, though. Charging all the way back out from base is FNG on the SBs. He got plenty of regen. And he's also got that Blood Grenade to be able to go for this next kill if they were really wanting it, but actually save. Might be in a little bit of trouble here if they're able to land the Blood Grenade, but I guess just feeling like they are lacking in that damage for now.
Another dude, I swear they've used already like 5-6 blood grenades top.
How many do you even get to be able to start the game with? Is it 6? I don't even know. There's only one left in the stash right now.
I thought it was less than 6. I thought it was 3, but I don't know where I'm pulling that number from, to be honest. It could just be some random number. Bottom lane, Tokyo is in a lot of trouble. This might be our first blood. Some stick charges were with potentially baiting as well.
Gotta be careful about going for the dive. Actually, noticed backing off entirely. I mean, he only did have the 1 point in the shockwave, but I was thinking maybe be able to land that on Tokyo. Now Sayush to be able to make that next rotation, but here's that 5-minute mark. So again, no one really that makes massive use out of this Lunar Blessing. Pango basically only making him level with GPK in terms of right-click damage, especially once GPK's got that tree grab. But maybe the bottom lane is going to feel it a little bit more effectively, right? In terms of just being even right-clicking from Sayush could feel quite nice.
Do we feel like we're going to see the lanes dissolve pretty shortly? Because we're still yet to find our first blood, and we've got the power runes coming up in the next couple of seconds as well.
Depends what power rune it is, really. Squad and Sayush both going to the same rune, so they're going to be praying that it's bot, and it is. So Gaben smiling on the back of them for now. As, you know, maybe with this arcane rune, he wants to quickly shove the wave out. Probably going to wait for the next one and use the arcane rune to be able to make a move down towards the bottom side before Dusa hits up onto that level 6, because this is the time that you want to be using that Rolling Thunder to its full effectiveness when you're not just going to get stone gazed and forced away.
Yeah, and they're looking at least for a use onto GPK mid. Really good ward setup around this area. Was able to scout out the rotation with Sayush, and then even F and G with kind of like the backline stab. So means that both bottom and top are without their support, so both the cores on BetBoom going to be able to have a free couple of waves.
And GPK is going to be able to scale a little bit himself too. He's going into the power treads just to be able to do a little bit of right-click damage in the middle of these fights, right? Like just to be able to more reliably get another hit off
Tokyo?
All of his base.
Yeah, without a doubt, this should be our first blood unless it gets denied to the neutrals. Oh my god, that was super close. A nice attempt with that kind of backstep, but nonetheless, it's going to be Virtus Pro that strike first in our game 1.
I'm just thinking, like, Skywrath getting it feels okay, you know? Like, yes, the Medusa was able to just sit in the lane and farm, but you cannot let an Undying just go and take that Wisdom Rune over for free. It was actually FNG that ended up getting the BetBoom one as well, so nice little experience boost going to the VP supports, and maybe up on this top lane, off the back of that, they'll be able to get a kill of their own.
Squad is going to be able to bounce back. Q-turn, nice sidestep though from Pure, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. Even Sayush looking to move on top, so this guy wanting to get even more active to help secure the early game here for Kiritich.
GPK feeling confident to be able to man fight into a charging SB. Gonna be another rune down bottom, and GPK looks like he'll be the one to get it too.
Top lane, Kiritich is also in a lot of trouble. The double support from BetBoom able to chase down the Luna is pretty goddamn speedy. Ooh. Looks like with the blinding light, push him out to the left side. Still connects to Kate. Is it enough damage? With the level 2, it is. Tokyo finds the first kill of the game for BetBoom, and that was just 2 supports, all they needed. Pure wasn't there, and now they're going to be able to shove the lane out.
Radiant's middle tower is under
maybe
attack.
He was expecting that it was just the level 1 decay still, right? Not actually having enough damage to be able to go for the kill, but that 40 base damage, it was enough. GPK as well made a really nice play around that mid lane, using the tree grab to be able to slow down the Skywrath mage, so that he wasn't able to deny away that regen runes. So we know GPK is no stranger to being able to carry from the mid lane, but I mean, he's set up to be able to make rotations fairly shortly. I mean, with how relatively well the side lanes are going, he can just look to wait out until he's got this blink dagger, maxed out toss as well, and then look to make the move.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Nightfall's still untouched. It's just power this year. Just shove out the lane very easily, go back and farm these 2 stupid camps right next to it.
Dire get 2 stupid camps too, though.
They do. These camps nearly as bad as the. I'll hold that because I think we'll see if F and G might get dived now with this next wave, and we can always charge.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Get even more distance with the blinding light. Do we feel like these 2 camps next to the safe lane towers are all just silly as what used to be with the small camp by the mid lane?
I think because of those small camps, people have been very quick to adapt to like what is important to be able to have, right? Because with those small camps next to mid, it was like, well, the lane might have gone horribly, but at least I could get this little bit of farm, you know? Kind of feels a similar sort of way. Oh. Hopefully it's another pause coming through, and no chain unpause as well. Yes. Going into the face. DD rune down bottom as well, and I feel like Squad is basically saying, sorry, FNG. Sorry, old man. It looks like you're going to be dying this time around. Got to make sure that I've got this one available to be able to make a play around. Again, like, both teams are waiting for this big timing, right? I've mentioned that the Tiny waiting for the Blink Dagger. Maybe if he can get the last hit onto the Spirit Breaker, he's only, you know, this one last creep wave away from being able to pick it up. But Pango is pretty close to being able to get towards that Diffusal Blade as well, right? Just 1,500 or so. Basically has enough of the Blade of Alacrity already.
So it looks like the boys on BetBoom will be able to get the kill, and looks like the odds are heavily in their favor as well. Don't get too ahead of yourselves just yet. MVP, no joke of a team at all. There's a lot of recency bias, and of course the names on BetBoom as well would be helping out, but a 10-minute Blink Dagger. Okay.
Hey, man's just been farming. He hasn't made a single rotation, and why not? You know, if he's able to get into that, then suddenly you don't just have to deal with Medusa, you got to deal with him as well. And honestly, he doesn't even need to push the tower. The creeps are doing the majority of the work.
Yeah, this could be huge.
Do it, yeah, with the DD.
They have a great ward as well inside the lane, so it's going to scout them out on the retreat. They actually canceled the charge, so maybe feeling like it was a little bit too deep of an attempt. So that's going to be double damage and potentially wasted.
Yeah, a little bit of a shame. Like, I mean, he did just hit up onto the level 7 on Underlord, so he could have skilled up the Pit of Malice if he sees the Spirit Breaker committing with a full charge, but really did feel like that was a small window that to be able to kill this Underlord before he got a little bit too far out of control. He's already got the Vanguard, he's got the range drops, a very healthy magic wand, and he's closing in on that Crimson Guard as well.
They're going to try and slow down Noticed. DPK. It's going to run straight into Toronto Tokyo. Even a Fiend's Gate down to bottom as well. They feel like they need the extra from Pure. He's going to go through the rift, but they'll not be able to. So all 5 members at BetBoom down to bottom, but now with the rift, they're going to be able to move to top, and GPK, he's got the combo back up. So it looks like it's going to be another kill thanks to the use of the Blink Dagger. Save's going to yoink it away, but at least they should instantly refill the mana of GPK. I mean, that's the big thing. We've seen a lot of the kind of cool combos from the Coddle. We haven't seen Tiny too much, but of course one of the better pairings with the Chakra as well.
Save is warranted for taking that kill. He wouldn't have had that Avatos combo available if not for him, so he can take what he likes. Able to get the tower off the back of it as well. I mean, they're giving basically all of the lane waves to GPK as well, as it looks like they might even make another rotation together back towards the bottom side if they're wanting to open up the map even further for Dusa to just help with taking that tier 1 tower bottom. Almost feels like they might want to set up for that, right? Because you've got the Wisdom Runes coming up in 1.5 minutes, and if they really want to keep the pressure up, put the foot on the throat, that's the way to do it.
Heritage? He's pretty tanky, man. What the hell? Dragonlance Strength Treads with the Seeds of Serenity was like 1,600 health.
Pretty powerful, man.
Huh? That's actually crazy. GPK's got 1,800. Man, Seeds is...
That's just tiny.
yeah, but the fact that the Luna's like 150, 200 behind is... Very silly. This goddamn Seeds of Serenity item. It just keeps getting buffed. It's very, very strong right now.
It did make that rotation that I was talking about. I don't think that they're actually going to be able to do much damage into the tower, though, but maybe it's going to be around a smoke that they make around the full site. Notice, though, he's in position to get tossed back.
Mango's nearby. The Fuser Blade's completed. VP are pretty strong. Squad's going to try and turn it around off the back of the rolling third, but the RP is going to connect onto 2 as well. But where's the damage follow-up? Nightfall's going to have an opportunity to pop the Stone Gaze and chase down the rest of Virtus Pro as Kiritich is in some trouble. The Luna wanted to get active early instead of farming, and that's going to come at a grave cost as now GPK finds a toss back onto Squad. It's a pretty decent shield crash, so Squad's able to mitigate a lot of the damage. Pure. It's a T2 tower, brother. Pretty cautious with the Crimson Guard. A lot of mitigation against the damage at the moment. GPK is going to go T3. He doesn't know how to stop. Squad's still alive, though. Strength treads once again, saving lives. Sayush, he will not have the same fate as Betboom. Should be able to slowly chase down a 4th. I mean, it's a lot of space getting created. In the end, it might not even get him. Nightfall and Pure aren't really the best heroes at catching up to this guy, so he's going to pop through the portal. Have the pit. Oh,
Root doesn't stop yet.
That's true.
Only does. I mean, he didn't have a TP, so that was his only option, unless he just wanted to continue kiting them. Might have been a better option, but, I mean, he was still able to secure that that Wisdom Rune on Sayush after all of that disaster that happened, so at least they're not falling too far behind on the XP front. Kiritich, even just to the point in the Eclipse, I know it wouldn't have done a lot of damage, but a lot of the time it's just the visual aspect.
He can't die again, man.
No, he cannot.
What? Him showing up to that fight and dying. Luna is not a hero that plays very well from behind. Like, you have this innate farming accelerator with your glaives, so playing from behind against a Deucer, it's not going to be a fun time at all. That was your Diffuser Blade timing as well from Squad, which was very early on, but that Betboom coming on top, it's a big sigh of relief for them. They can continue farming for a little bit and let this Deucer continue to find all those items. She's got Manta on already 1400 gold in the bank.
Yeah. It was a pretty good initiation, though, wasn't it?
It was,
like,
it was.
You got the RP into the Rolling Thunder, into the Mystic Flare, but it just wasn't enough. It really feels like Kiritich doesn't need to have that Eclipse if they're looking to at least force them to be a bit more scared in these team fights.
GPK?
Maybe just ran at him.
Wait, they have the gate to be able to connect. Gonna try and target down save for the moment. He's gonna be able to keep him healthy. FMG turns with another strike. Coddle's still the #1 target. They should be able to secure the kill with the help of the Rolling Thunder. They'll even get the secondary support in Toronto, Tokyo, but the cause of Betboom, they're gonna try and chase the members of BP, but it looks like they will be able to get away. Notice some Squad looking out next to the Lotus pool, and meanwhile Kiritich wasn't involved as well, so he was continuing to find some farm across the map.
That's exactly what he needs, right? You just do not want to be part of any of those early attempts. It felt a little desperate, well, I mean, it did protect their tier 1 tower as well, right? That one's still standing for Virtus Pro, so they're not as easily able to invade, take away some of the stacks that they've built up in the area, which meant that Kiritich is able to farm this one up now inside of the Ancient Camp area. You've also got the one to the right-hand side next to Notice right now that he might look to stack up one more time, or even just take for himself. So, you know, it was a fight that, in terms of heroes dying, didn't exactly go in VP's favor, but in terms of what it means for their economy, still pretty good, staying relatively even.
Looks like they're gearing up for a play as well from Betboom. 4-man smoke across the map. It's on the FMG that's currently home, but they might be on point with Squad. He's starting to move on over.
Under attack.
Got that Crimson Guard as well. I'm not sure if anyone dies when they get the jump on. Nice positioning from FNG, though, to be able to pop it. Still probably gonna die, but rather him than your Luna. And they held until 15 seconds for the Fiend's Gate. So if they're really quick with pushing in this bottom lane, they might be able to secure a tier 1 tower of their own before there's even any response capable. 5 seconds
Radiant's
on the
bottom
Fiend's
tower
Gate.
is under attack.
Looks like it'll be enough.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
You take that tier 1 mid trade for tier 1 bot trade any day of the week. VP are incredibly happy for that because it allows Kiritich to do exactly what he's doing. Move down to the bottom side, steal away some of the farm that Medusa was previously taking. Also, you've got a Magnus who's maxed out the Empower, going for a bit more of the carry style on Noticed. No Greaves or anything like that, just a Vanguard to be able to protect himself. I think they're realizing that, you know, we've got a Pango to kind of deal with the Medusa, but we felt like we were lacking in damage severely in that pass fight.
Once again, looks like FNG is going to be in a pretty good spot to be able to do the gank, although GPK with the enemies wrapped all the way around. We'll see squad deep in enemy territories. Is FNG going to be able to disrupt it though? Squad falling low. One to the backpack, and GPK is going to be up to a dominating streak. A bit of a extra gold injected into his bank. He might even get FNG as well. The toss is going to be up, sends him packing. So we were speaking about earlier that, you know, Kiritaka probably top 3 tinies in Eastern Europe. You asked me, you know, who was along with him. Did I say in the world? Okay, in the world, I would say GPK could be an argument for that as well. Eastern Europe, I don't know what it is, but their tinies are at another level, and GPK, he always shines on this hero, and this game in particular is no different. 5-0-4, second in net worth, and if you have a good game on this hero, you can scale, and you're a real big issue late game with like Scepter and crits.
Yeah, he's been involved in almost every single one of their kills so far. 9 out of the 11. And he's a big reason why this net worth is continuing to grow. I mean, he's just throwing his body in there. Just, again, if it's me, it means that the rest of my team is dying. If they can get this kill onto GPK, that'd be pretty huge, though.
They should be able to with the Mystic Flare. Okay, he's going to end up going down. So you should be the one to get the streak. Like you said, he's happy with throwing his body, and Pure's rotates as well. I mean, Nightfall was even there, and
Kiritich is farming.
So he is, so... He
was 6 on net worth coming out of that laning stage, and he's already up to 2nd. It's not like it's him and then a giant gap either. Noticed he's getting a fair amount himself. Also dealt a decent amount of damage into the tier 2 bot as well, almost at half HP. Really is around that BKB timing, you would imagine, for Kiritich, that he'd be looking to maybe make a play. Spirit Breaker's not really going to... He's going to be the true position 6 this time around, like just throwing his life away. Let's see, Soyush, he's going straight into that Scythe of Vice. He wants to be able to punish GPK if he ever does go in super deep without popping that BKB. That's the Harpoon now finished for the Mag.
Yes, it is.
Alright, decent kill threat here. Are they going for a smoke here, or are they going to... here we go. Take the Tormentor. Some okay value. You would hope SP doesn't get it. He's fine.
What's the Agshan Sky called?
I know what it's called, Shield of the Scion. Don't think you could trick me. That's my way for tricking you.
I'm just double checking you're on the ball. There's some very early Scepter from squad. That was pretty decent timing. Have it very shortly here, level 15 as well.
Yep.
And it's got that important talent.
He gets the important talent. You're against a Medusa. His job is drain Medusa's mana, period. That's it. You know, I wonder what he's going to go into next. If it's going to be like a Basher? No, the Pango.
Yeah.
Blink Dagger, okay. So I was thinking he's got a few options. He could go Blink Dagger, he could go Basher, of course. Don't really need a Maelstrom. You've got a Luna and a Magnus doing that job for you. I was also potentially considering a Halberd just because of how effective it's going to be, even just against GPK, who's looking to scale in a pretty solid way himself in terms of right-click.
I think I would have preferred the Halberd. Because I think you have the Mag and the Spirit Breaker to start. Of course, squad knows best, and he's got a double damage ring now as well. There might be... Well, let's see. It's not the fastest Roche from Radiant. Of course, I got the Medallion and along with the Flesh Golem, but still, it does look like VP going to be able to get there.
What's this? Oh, there's charges onto Pure. They see it.
It's... Everyone else is really far away.
Distraction plays. If they're focused on him, they're not focused on Roshan.
And 2's about to expire. No scoop blink. Ooh.
Didn't go in. I was thinking he was going to commit there. Maybe it's going to be Pango going in first and using that as like a BKB response.
A lot of damage onto Toronto Tokyo early on. They're even going to put the Mystic Flare, but he's okay. Now GPK finds an angle with a combo. Sayush is falling low. Not going to be able to secure the kill for the moment. Notice just wants to skew a Nightfall out of the fight, but it's not providing them a whole lot. His squad, he's stuck in the middle. A 1v1 versus GPK. Should be able to get some distance still. Not a lot of value out of the double damage. And a very awkward fight for VP. Not the way you were hoping to try and take this Roche engagement, and as a result, they're going to have to try and duck and run.
Yeah, they just didn't land their spells, and the big plus for Bethboom is that they basically popped nothing. You know, you had Kiritich there just waiting. He wanted that Stone Gaze popped. He wanted the BKB pop on the Tiny. Nothing happened. They basically just used the remnants of the Tombstone.
Gonna get him. Oh. Very nicely done. GPK is going to be able to TP out. They should be there with the root. And even cancels it anyway, recognizing there is no point. 50 seconds without the Magnus. That is a big window now for Betboom to look to go back to Roche.
You reckon they can take it? I mean, they'll have the drums, they'll have the medallion, but they don't have the flesh goal of the next 30 seconds, and they already had a bit of an issue.
I think they will. I don't know if VP can. I think they'll
estimate VP FNG's ability to just run headfirst into a team fight, my man.
Looks like they should be able to.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
So you should just waiting a Radiant's secret shot for the Deuce to buy something in the courier. Unfortunately, a little bit away for that demon edge, so he's going to be waiting for a while.
Fallen to the Radiant.
There you go.
Oh, poor guy. Well, I was thinking, like, I was thinking that Roche would take a little bit longer. Maybe if they had the Solar Crest, maybe if they had the Echo Saber finished on GPK. He's just got it delivered now on the courier.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
He's also his level 15, so plenty of damage through the avalanche. I believe sustained right click. He's still standing there, isn't he?
Dire's middle
no
tower
courier now.
is under attack.
Maybe he still feels like it's there. I'm not sure. I don't know if he saw it leave, but you got the Aegis now. They already had a lot of difficulties with killing the Medusa. Now good luck doing it a second time with a Greaves Crimson Atrophy Aura, with a Force Parvis. It's not going to be easy. We spoke about it in the draft. This is kind of like a 4 Protect 1 lineup, and they are online.
I mean, who is the target you actually even want first? Probably Coddle, I would say. You know, just having that Parvis and Force Staff and the Chakra Magic, both for giving Nightfall a little bit of extra HP, but also enabling GPK or Pure. It feels to me like he's going to be the easiest one to take down for now, and he's kind of been a little bit deep here, but well, he's just playing scared right now on squad. Feeling like he needs to run away if Coddle shows, and they did have GPK behind him.
Kiritich. Manta's on cooldown for 3. It's going to be just out of range. Oh, okay.
Maybe the bait.
Maybe the bait. Radiant's vision is exceptional right now. They're also scouting out Notice behind the T2 tower. He's probably not going to expect them to be this close to him. He's going to run straight into...
Oh, no. Oh. TV?
That's awkward. Yeah, that's it on. Just look at what they're getting though. Nightfall is inside Dire's triangle. Pure is pushed out mid. So even though he's kind of making some space, so Betboom are in a great position to be able to try and get some objectives.
Squatch pushed out top though. You know, it's something that Sayush as well as Squad were looking to do, but of course you've got Save there. Coddle probably the best support at being able to just keep lanes in a really good spot. Of course, if he eventually gets the Aghanim Shard for himself, he can just use the Boots of Travel and recall at any time. And of course, you've got the Underlord to be able to play around with as well. So that, on top of all the vision that you mentioned previously, puts Betboom in a really good spot just to be able to pick people off consistently. So you're basically reaching the point now on VP where you're going to be forced to fight together. I think maybe 2.5 minutes is all they've got. Just wait out that Aegis, get your level 3 Eclipse, get the Crystallis finished up, and then you can look to go.
And for Betboom, what do we feel like they're going to be able to get out of the last remaining 2 minutes of the Aegis? Is this one where they can maybe think about going high ground, or are they just happy to continue kind of choking out the map and finding their farmers? Actually, GPK gets a kill on Sayush, so a freebie for the Tiny.
Yeah, it's just about waiting for that pickoff. Unfortunately for them, it's probably in the least opportune position, unless Pure uses the gate to be able to connect through for save, just to be able to bring them there quickly while he's still in the grave for now. But I guess they're feeling like with this Solar Crest and the Tombstone drops, there's no real reason for Nightfall to feel too threatened. Squad is back in the lane now, so getting the disarm off onto the Medusa. A little bit of that mana burn coming through from the Diffusal Blade as well.
FMG.
Another pickoff.
Yeah, he's
Just one where he doesn't have the buyback too.
Kiritich? He's in a lot of trouble. Notice gets the skill, but still ages for a minute. Mana's gone. Breeze gives him a little bit of bonus back, and he's still alive. Chunker as well. Yeah, cool here. Here we go again.
He's got the boys protecting him. Crimson Guard, Chakra, Guardian Grief, Solar Crest, Soul Rip, Drums. He's got the boys behind him.
Oh, that's cool as well with the pit.
I
mean, there's still no BKB from Mag, so makes it that much easier to be able to seed to high ground, which has been able to protect Nightfall.
Just charge on in on FNG. No, looks like he's trying to push in the top side. The last coming through for FNG is like, we cannot defend against this. It's kind of understandable, right? They got the most out of that Aegis. They found the pickoffs. High ground is still the place where throws can happen. You know, we saw it in the one move versus Namiga game, and we had the potential to see it there, just if they went full-on 5v5 against a Magnus. But not making that mistake, making sure that there was a pickoff or two before they went to that play.
This is a big opportunity. It's 2 heroes so top. I mean, the Aegis just expiring. They had the ward as well, so FNG finds the charge, but the rest of the team are just a little bit too far away. Notice he's still under the cover of the smoke. Great use from Pure at the ready. Mag will still be able to escape into the river, but they're not done with him just yet. Without GPK nearby, though, they won't be able to close the distance.
Yeah, I was about to say they're going to need to make a decision real quick. GPK, with that unsurety, is able to regen up.
It's going to be a big kill. That's a lot of their aura. There's a lot of the pain. Yule's going to be able to buy some time now. Nightfall's going to be in with the Stone Gaze as well. They need to kite the Medusa with the BKB. Kiritich will be enabled to do so, but it's an all-out retreat from VP, and well, now they can go back in. But boom, they used a decent chunk. Vinci trying to find that opening. They won't be able to follow up though, so at least we're getting something out of VP. It's taking them a while, but get the kill onto Pure.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Even with
attack.
that, Yule Scepter to be able to save himself from the brunt of the damage coming through from the Eclipse. He still ends up getting taken down just because, again, it's not all on one hero. Like, yes, Kiritich is very farmed, but you've got Magnus dealing a decent amount. You've got the Pango consistently just bouncing around inside of that Rolling Thunder. Hit by the Stone Gaze full duration, but he was just incredibly tanky off the back of a shield crash. No nullifiers on Betboom either, really, so he is never really going to feel in too much danger.
I like this from Notice as well. It looks like with all the gold he's got saved up, he's going to go into the BKB next. And I think this is much needed because of what we... the past couple of minutes, what we just saw. With the pit to be able to push high ground, it cancels out your potential skill back play to find a way back in. And just with the Yule Scepter as well. A way that Pure can potentially cancel the effect from the Mag. I think this BKB was much needed, otherwise there's no real way for them potentially to turn these team fights around. I
mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Crimson Guard enjoyer, right? But probably against this lineup, not the way to go, because you're just getting huge amounts of damage from these sources. You know, Underlord's hitting for a good amount once the team fights start to go on for a little bit. Tiny is just smacking you for 1,000,000. Dusa as well, she's got a Daedalus, right? So that 70 damage block really doesn't do much. It's more about just enabling yourself to get the proper team fight going in your favor. Full on smoke as well as soon as they get the Aghanim shard on the Keeper of the Light. So he's got that recall available now as well. So again, this is the scary period that I was talking about, as if this game hasn't been a little bit scary already for VP. Just knowing that you're going up against Boots of Travel on Coddle with the ability to recall people and the Dark Rift, just to be able to move anywhere you want throughout the map.
VP are doing a very good job to keep up in farm, though. Only a 4,000 deficit, and we kind of have to... We're at the stage now where we need to be speaking about late game and who we feel like scales better. Is there a side you'd be more comfortable going into the later stage of this game one?
In a full 5-on-5 fight, let's just say in mid lane, I would still favor the Bedboom. Just because I feel like they've got the early damage they've got a Deuce to be able to play around with. But again, around high ground pushes, if it's not through a pickoff, Magnus can completely change the game.
Does look like it's going to be another roast that goes the way of Betboom, though. This time it's uncontested. You've got Ages onto Nightfall, and GPK is going to pick up the cheese. Went Silver's Edge as well for GPK.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
So,
a little bit more crit. Never hurt someone.
Never hurt nobody at all. It's going to make it much easier for him to be able to find the pickoffs as well as...
Just looking at Nightfall's positioning, Heritage just TP'd out. So FNG once again, just getting a little bit of scouting done. Basically the disruptor, the look at me kind of guy is what he wants to be right now.
Scott is a big item.
Yep. Sorry, they're just saying to GPK, get up here, my man. You've got the haste rune. You've got a Coddle to make you nice and healthy. Don't need to go back to base. It's just about connecting through to us on the back of this Aegis to its fullest potential. But with that little bit of a delay, it means that VP had time to be able to set up this high ground ward. They're also going to be able to push in that mid lane a little bit. Wonder if FNG is going to go whack that tower once just to be able to take it down. Never mind. Rune much more valuable, and he's closing in on his own halberd. So I mentioned that as a possibility for the Pango. He's opting to go for damage instead. They get the BKB on the courier as well. Nicely done by Squad. Immediate rush back to their high ground vision as well. It's a big commitment with the glyph as well. If they don't fight into this tower, they're basically just giving up the fact that they won't be able to protect their high ground very well.
Dude, FNG. He's such a nuisance. They're able to get it out of the pit. Squad's in as well. It's a lot of damage out of the Tiny. They're going to even drop the RP as well. GPK is out of the equation. It's all on Nightfall. They're doing a good job to kite the Deucer, of course. She's the one with the Aegis advantage. They want to deal with the supporting class as best as they can. So Nightfall, though, they might even deal with the first leg without committing too heavily. The men are starting to fall low. Notice, once again, another skewer. It's on to Pure this time. Virtus Pro taking team fights incredibly well. They got a charge before the smoke as well. Got a glimpse of VP. So they got a glimpse of Betboom on the retreat. It'll be fast enough, though.
Oh, he might be able to yoink away that Wisdom Rune. Oh, FNG, come on, my man. You got experience on offer, but he realizes that, look, it's more valuable that I don't give up that unreliable gold. I get the halberd, and well, now they're going to have a few more issues with being able to deal with them. Again, it's just that vision advantage, right? They were playing around vision the entire time. Even a really solid tombstone being dropped by Toronto Tokyo doesn't equalize it.
It really seems like in that fight in particular, they have a huge mag issue. Firstly, do you agree? And if you do, what do you feel like Betboom need to do to address that?
They need to be the ones to get the jump for a change, right? Like, they were the ones that got gone on in the first instance. They were able to pick them up pretty early on into the piece, and they weren't able to cut around those big spells, right? You want to be able to run away from the Eclipse. You want to be able to run away from the Rolling Thunder, but they just were in a compromised position where they didn't understand fully where everyone was. So it's about taking a fight where you've got the vision advantage.
Is that pretty?
Even just the fact that Nightfall had his courier killed previously, didn't have the BKB, and didn't feel confident to actually move in further onto the front lines. It's getting Mez mana drained quite frequently too. They've still got a minute and a half left though on that Aegis.
Mana's going to be drained even easier now with the MKB just completed from Squad.
And they will get rid of that high ground ward as well, off the back of the gem that saves carrying. He gets the charge in onto them, though. Has to be very careful with completing this one, considering that... Yeah, I know FNG is fearless, but that one was a little bold, especially with no one at the moment revealing on the map.
Interesting. Kurtic, I went butterfly. Okay, he had the Ag shard queued up. I was going to say I wonder if he's going to buy out shard instead of waiting for the luck of the Tormentor.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
See how they're going to be able to address this high ground attempt.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
FNG. Charging. It's going to be... Notice looking for the combo, but it's going to be off the mark. There's a bit of a window now for Boom to take at least something out of this Huron cooldown, but it's already back up. Notice with a short cooldown, we can already look to go back in. Boom's going to keep a lot of the vision. Have to back off as soon as it gets destroyed. Ages as well expiring in 15 seconds. And I thought that's one of the greatest mana right now. Have a nice ward outside the base there. We'll see Notice trying to pop on out.
Gets it back so quickly though when the Aegis is reclaimed. He's actually buying a Aegis of his own. So I mean, at least it's going to give him a little bit more information as to when perhaps if he's farming out a little bit too deep, if a charge is coming in onto him, just launching out that Mystic Snake. Again, their map movement is still really good on BetBoom, so they've got the potential to perhaps use this Medusa as bait. You know, say that she's in a really horrible position, but a Dark Rift just behind where they're looking to make the engagement onto.
Dire's middle tower.
Maybe they can get a turnaround kill.
DPK just finished the Scepter, so you have that tree volley and also the level 20, so even more damage for him to be working with. It's already been a huge issue. He's got that tier 4 as well to be able to decide what he wants. So we'll see what the choice is going to be for Mr. GPK, but...
Oof. Head to edge.
Wow, yeah, alright. Very cool, very cool.
Great against a Pango as well. Just that extra attack range on top of your tree grab as well. It's going to be his main job, I think, in these fights. A, survive, don't get initiated onto, and B, just obliterate this Pango as much as possible, whether that be through tree volley or just simple right clicks once you pop that BKB.
Treasures.
Oh, that's a huge neutral line for Notice. I mean, just speaking about the one for the Tiny, having the Ninja gear now makes it that much easier for him to be able to find an opening. Because again, I mean, that's what you mentioned earlier, how you're able to address the Magnus, just having the jump, and well, it's good luck doing that now against the Ninja gear. Even FNG got one too as well, so lovely for him. He's going to be a bit of an issue as the game goes on. 0 and 8 we were kind of not memeing, but like it was very funny to see like his playstyle early on, which is sacrificing his life, but he's got a lot of net worth, and that net worth is going to be really pivotal as the game goes on. As John, they want to try and take the space out. No, he's going to be in though.
Okay.
What a blow! What is it? Damage! GPK's gone, and now Nightfall in some trouble as well, but do they want to dress the Deuce or the rest of the heroes? Again, we've seen quiet. DP looking to try and avoid as best as they can. Fight off the fight. Give it everyone else and then leave Nightfall to last. The momentum is completely swung, even though they have this full set of barracks on bottom. We really haven't seen BetBoom being able to really crack what VP are dishing out recently.
They've even got Creep still in the base. He's slowly assaulting the buildings, but I mean, it really is off the back of Noticed, isn't it? Some of these skewers have been amazing. It's all enabled by FNG. You know, that time around, he went in a little deep. It was under the cover of a Observer Sentry combination, but I mean, he's so tanky, right? Like, he's got a Ninja Gear of his own. He's got the Planar Pocket as well. He's popping that just for the magic resistance to be able to deal with any sort of initiation onto him. Doesn't even need to redirect a spell.
It's a fast respawn. 10 seconds, and meanwhile FNG with the invis. Saber's got a gem.
That'd be big.
Love to steal it.
There's no boys really though to be able to help him out.
Oh, should have plenty of damage. They're actually gonna gate in. VP are pretty far away. But the quick kill, there's gonna be no response. So Gem picked up. I didn't have their own gems, so that's going to be lovely for them to work with now, and you might need to...
Roche pit.
Yeah, exactly. You might need to buy back on save to contest it, because FNG with the wraparound. Strike to Nightfall. That's what has been working for them prior. Notice is in some trouble, down to half health. Look at all the crits raining in. Notice one mistake, and it's going to cost VP gravely.
At least they get the buyback out of the coddle, but yeah, that really hasn't been what's given them the advantage previously. They didn't have the vision advantage, they didn't have that rolling thunder or the other damage sources to be able to play with. GPK
under the wall. Let's see if they're going to be able to blow him up with the BKB activated. Curative still wants to chase him down, but we're going to think twice. Even a defensive BKB from Curative towards the later stages of that little attempt, and this means once again another free Roche is going to go the way of Betboom, and potentially a scepter for Nightfall as well. We spoke about his Ag start choice. Well, now that's going to be buffed up even more with the blessing potentially given to him.
It's going to be so solid. And well, now's the time. It's also you probably wanted to be standing over at the secret shop. Almost has that MKB finished as well. Good way to be able to address, of course, the butterfly that you've got on the Luna.
Middle tower is under
Medusa has approached close to critical mass, you would have to say. Drop of the treads. Chi is still on the ground. Chrono Tokyo is saying thank you very much.
He might need to pick up the treads, actually.
Yeah, he will. Drop it outside of the Roche pit. Maybe next to the outpost.
That's a good support. I mean, there's maybe Nightfall told him to do it, but yeah, he knows.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have it.
So, you mentioned as well, like the recipe for success so far, Mag, you can't go on the Medusa. And as soon as she does, we just saw what happened. She dies instantly against all the crits. She is able to dish up damage along with Nightfall, and you give up a free Roche. So, if that happens again for VP, their potential to defend high ground is going to be off the back of somehow an incredible rolling thunder.
I almost wonder as well, like, what, with Luna, what talent are you going to go at level 25 as well? Is it all about finding that initial pick-off, so it's about the Eclipse?
What's going on? Smoke on smoke outside the base. It's an early next switch. GPK's going to jump in. It's not enough damage for the tree ball at the moment. Some of the crits that's going to rain down. The kill off the sky. A great start for Betboom, but they did commit pretty heavily. Destroyed between the two squads, going to be able to get rid of save. A very messy engagement overall, but GPK, once again, this time with the crits, they'll hold them into place. The tree volley makes quick work of FNG, and they consider going high ground 4v4. What's going to stop them?
I would say so. I mean, you still, of course, have to worry about the Magnus. He didn't use the RP, but he did use the BKB. So you would have to imagine that maybe they're just going to go for that similar sort of strategy that they had when they were taking the tier 3 bottom. Just have the Underlord there, lay down the Pivot of Malice, and then what can the Magnus do? No Rolling Thunder to have to concern yourself with. The Halberd, such a short range that if you go into it, you're probably going to get Blink out of tossed back into the meat grinder. It seems like they just want to perhaps be a little bit more conservative. Is GPK actually going to be the one buying this nullifier? Again, I was talking about how they didn't really have a nullifier buyer, but it honestly feels they've reached the point where they're going to need to put it on an unorthodox hero like the Tiny. Here we go.
So, who is GPK's primary target now with this nullifier?
Always Pango, but if FNG continues playing the way he has, just getting rid of that Stampede is pretty vital too. It means that he's not able to, just shrug it off, get another Shadow Blade away.
Boom. 6,000 net worth lead for them. Still very, very even game, even though they have this objective advantage. So let's see the momentum continue going Radiant's way, and they still have this Aegis as well to work with for another minute 50. So VP be forced to come back to try and mount the defense.
Didn't go the Rolling Thunder cooldown on the Pangolier level 25. Went the Swashbuckler instead. So, just to be able to protect from range. There's that lay down of the Pit of Malice, but Nightfall is actually walking out of it. Maybe using him as a bit of bait, considering he does still have that duration left on the Aegis. You can just see, notice he's calculating the angles. Yet he attend geometry class.
Oh, the Hex to precast! Save, beautifully done, stops the jump, squad score, let's try and attempt. But a BKB from Notice isn't providing them too much. They're gonna skew with the Deuce, but Nightfall doesn't care. Stand strong, don't gaze use, who gives a damn? Free set of barracks. No contention now.
That's the second lane, given up for free essentially. And of course, no Rolling Thunder to have to deal with again. I mentioned the fact that he didn't go the cooldown, so it's still a good 50 seconds. It's really going to be on the back of Notice once more.
Magnus? Yeah. For Dusa.
The Aegis, though.
They need to get crafty with this. It's like not working, which is putting Deucer up on the front, and Virtus Pro aren't finding an opportunity. They need to wrap a drop a ward and
doing exactly that, but that's where the ping's coming from Toronto Tokyo. He has an idea that that's exactly where the Magnus is coming from. GPK, his Silver Edge is about to run out.
Now with the H is expiring, Stogie still on cooldown for 30 seconds.
He could go unnoticed, man.
Yeah, but he doesn't have BK. Can't jump in.
True.
They'd react with the Yules. That's a big issue. Maybe it needs to be squad to go. Rolling Thunder's up shortly, so maybe squad can create some chaos, but the buildings are falling. There we go. Squad's going to start. FNG is going to be in as well. They use the Yules to the RP. It's going to be there to follow up, but no one. It's getting the right clicks out. Finally, she's in the middle. The man is getting drained, but dude, they gave the cheese. Oh, what an individual play from Betboom. Keeps Nightfall healthy, and I noticed was forced to buy back, but FNG's in some trouble. A toss inside the base helps secure the kill, and yeah, there's some well-deserved tips. Beautifully done, Betboom. They're gonna reset a trip back to the well, and then might go once again.
Why not, right? Like you already got a buy out of them. There's no RP, there's no Rolling Thunder. It does have a BKB, but without the Eclipse, I'm not even sure if the Luna's able to do it on her own. She would love to have that level 25, just for a little bit of that extra damage coming through in this next team fight. Won't quite have it though. Still worried about the Magnus. That's how well Notice has been playing, but I think without this RP in his arsenal, he's just not going to be able to do it. They can even just use the illusions. Why not? They got Tombstone now, they've got the Flesh Golem.
Oh, great jump in. Just into the middle of the meat grinder. Kiritic, he's not going to be able to survive through an instant use of the buyback, but they just reset. There was still a kill nonetheless onto GPK, so VP are able to find something, but that's still a heavy investment. Notice brought back prior, then Kiritic as well, so use reset, rinse, repeat, go again in a minute or two.
I mean, before that fight, the item that Kiritic had queued up was the Divine Rapier. He's still got it. His mind hasn't changed. He needs to be able to output more damage for whoever they get the pick off for. I mean, he would love to have that plus a Satanic just to be able to survive in the middle of all of this chaos, but I mean, it's going to be quite some time until he even gets one of those two items. I've almost got the Scythe on the sky, though. 5 gold away.
Okay, very, very close. We'll see what they're able to do with that. I'm not quite sure VP can take a fight once Betboom gets set up on another push. We've seen just bottom, top, mid. It didn't matter what lane it was. It didn't matter if you had the Aegis or not. When you're in that position, when you're able to set up a formation, it just makes it so goddamn difficult for them to have any opportunity. So you have to take a fight outside the base somehow before Betboom are able to set up.
Got to fight outside the base. Yeah, exactly. You're exactly right. And well, I wonder, is anyone available who they can give this greater Lotus over to? It might just enable the Spirit Breaker to have that extra little bit of tank It's just to survive for an extra couple of seconds to let Pango or Mag get into the perfect position. And they're banking on a super quick Roche respawn too, but still 15 seconds until the absolute minimum, and they would have to know that this is going on. Top lane pushing in heavily to the Virtus Pro base, and well, someone's going to eventually have to deal with it. At least they've got a Spirit Breaker to be able to do so. It's got the buyback as well, so it's not like he can afford to die, but it's a long one.
Unlucky. I think at least one of the for like 12 seconds. I can't remember the other respawns, but
I think it was like 20 seconds on the other one.
Yeah, yeah, some of the RNG favoring Boom for them. So VP, they're gonna stay around here for a very, very long time. And it's a nice thing at least about the Spirit Breaker. Like you are able to clean up waves even to the super creeps as well, but it seems like BetBoom are pretty aware of what's going on.
No one showing at all for this long, like 1.5 minutes. It's pretty clear what they're looking to go for, and I want to see if Toronto Tokyo could be the big player of this next fight. You know, he's used to making big plays around that mid lane, but now he's got the ability for people to bunker inside of the tombstone as well. That's the fall, my man.
And there's the fall from GPK. No, it's going to be with the BKB with the turnaround with the RP. Next sort of the they should be able to bring him down, but Curitage to storing down Nightfall pummel into the Luna. That's a dieback for her. Notice he's going to be killed off as well with no remorse as BetBoom. Even though they lost GPK to start, it did not matter. And they should be able to walk it down now. They're not even going to wait for the potential of Rouge to spawn.
Not sure what happened with Luna. I'm pretty sure in that fight I guess she bought the rapier, but it looked like she dropped something before she even picked it up. It might be on the career or something?
Oh, it might be on the cart. Where is it?
Dead? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, Korea's dead.
Where? Korea though, that's what happened.
Yeah, because he absolutely had a free item slot before he died. He only swapped in, I want to say, the Manta after the death.
Oh no. Oh god. Yeah, I'm scaring them to try and find it. That's not gonna matter though.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, this is a difficult defense at best. Try and do whatever they can. I mean, FNG is just chucking his life out. He's got to buy back. They're going to try and tank some spells up. Another damage with the Mystic Flare and the Swashbuckle. Pure is going to die. There's a decent chunk used though for just the kill onto Pure, and I mean, it means the rest of them can turn to just the ejectors, and with the throne exposed, there's not much VP going to be able to do. FNG once again, we're going to try and make as much space as possible. Seconds. This is live and 20 seconds. Too long. Fortunate for them. Throne's going to end up getting blown up, and in the end, it was a long game one, but